Okay, I am back. Right, I think that everything is together now. I'm gonna have to turn this brightness down in a bit, but for now, it's not too bad, actually. But either way, I return now. We're gonna do some homebrew stuff for a little while. I'm gonna try and sort of press through all of the stuff I have. So the first spell to look at is a spell called Incomprehensible Language, which is part meme spell, part actually useful. It has two uses basically. Let me give it a read. So, Incomprehensible Language, a first level illusion ritual. Casting time 1 action with a range of 5 feet. For verbal somatic material, a pig's tail. Duration 1 hour for bards and wizards. You twist the tongues up to 4 creatures within range, causing their speech to be disguised as incomprehensible illusory babbling. No creature except the caster can understand the target, hearing any auditory expression as unintelligible garble. However, targets of the spell may still communicate as normal to one another, as long as each of them was subjected to the effects of... Okay, right. An unwilling creature can make an intelligence saving throw, avoiding the effects of the spell on success. A creature under the effects of the Comprehend Language spell can understand targets of the spell. Additionally, casting a tongue spell on a creature under the effects of this spell... Okay, right. It's just some kind of jank wording. Like, it's not horribly worded by any means. It's just kind of some weird wording choices, I think, is the main problem. Nothing particularly like super terrible or anything. It's just kind of worded strangely in some places. The effect itself is fine. You either use it to screw over other people. I think range 5 feet, like range 30, is fine. And so pig's tail, not so it doesn't. So you don't confuse it for a pigtail, as in like hair, a pigtail. 4, that can be like that. To be masked with incomprehensible babbling. No creature except the caster. And the other targets. An affected creature. Greetings. How are you setting that up? So I was curious of how you were going to do it in Sword and Shield, especially because you can't hack in any of the ones that are really hard to get. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how the fuck are you even gonna do that? I also just assumed that none of them were in Gen 8, because unless it's a Pokemon I specifically remember seeing in Sword and Shield, I just assumed that Nintendo just axed it. But I imagine there's probably a good number of them. Did you get Toxel? Because Toxel is apparently an honorary baby Pokemon according to Generation 8. I didn't know that, but apparently it is. Okay. Some kind of jank Pokemon, but you have to keep them as babies, don't you? Because if so, you are not going to have a fun time with Leon. Then again, actually, I suppose you've got some. Yeah, I think there's probably just going to be some grinding involved, really, for some of the more ridiculous fights. So, the next spells are. Sure thing. The next spells is Indalamar's Blade Storm, which I have changed to include the nope. Oh, is it a 4th? Yeah, it's a 4th. So, which includes, which references the rules I have in my home game for bleeding, which I will honestly probably include in the updated version because I much prefer it to just kind of like the weird jank. So, Indalamar's Blade Storm is for paladins and wizards, which I think is fine, I guess. But it's conjuration, one action, self, verbal, somatic, instantaneous. You unleash a storm of metal shrapnel in a 30-foot radius sphere around you, cutting and slicing their way through your foes. Each creature you choose within the area, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 66 piercing damage, taking half on a success. Creature damaged by the spell starts bleeding 2d4 for 1 minute. So basically, the way bleeding works is a creature will bleed for a certain amount at the start of their turn. It reduces their current hit points, so it ignores temp, it ignores stuff like arcane ward, ignores all of that. So it will ignore all of those things and will cut them away. And a creature can attempt to use their action, or another creature within 5 feet can use their action to attempt to staunch the bleeding, which is a medicine check, of which the DC would be referenced. Normally, because this is a spell, it will be equal to your spell save DC. But if it was like a feature, like DC equal to your spell save DC, or DC if it's like on a monster or something, it would just say like DC 15. But because this is a spell, it just assumes that it's your spell save DC unless mentioned otherwise, which it is here. Must make a dexterity saving throw. Must. Or half as much on a success. So that's cool. Indalamar's otherworldly war cry, if I remember correctly, is weird. Think of it like a Horn of Valhalla effect. So, 5th level conjuration, casting time 1 action, range 10 feet, verbal material, a banner, standard, or flash. Be a comma there. Concentration up to an hour for warlocks and wizards. You call upon the souls of the departed to fight by your side. 2 veterans appear in a space you can see within range. These veterans have the following alterations. They are undead, they can end their turn in another creature's space, they have immunity to necrotic and poison damage, they resist to acid, cold, fire, and lightning. Fire, lightning, and thunder damage, as well as bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks. Roll initiative for the veterans as a group. They follow your spoken orders, no action required, with no regard for personal safety. If no orders are given, they act only to defend themselves. The number of summoned increases by 1. You summon 2 dudes, you summon 2 guys. They have like +5 to hit, which is not bad. And if you cast this at like... I think this spell's probably very underpowered. I think a way to fix it would be they use your spell modifier in place of their own attack bonuses. I think that doesn't need to go there, that needs to go here, I think, actually. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can summon 6 of these dudes with the 9th level slot, which is probably actually very reasonable. So yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, I actually kind of like the spell. I thought it was going to be real weird and real shit, but it's actually very reasonable. Infernal Shackle is up next, which is inspired by Aatrox from League of Legends and his E, which I believe may actually be called Infernal Shackle. Hang on, Aatrox Shackle. I don't know what it's called. No, let's look at Aatrox. Because Aatrox is probably my favorite League champion, mostly just for his voice. Infernal Chains. Right. Fourth level Conjuration, 1 action, 30 feet, verbal somatic material, a chain link, and the essence of a devil. 1 round for warlocks and wizards. You conjure fiendish shackles that entwine around a creature's legs. A target must succeed on a strength saving throw or take 68 fire damage and have their speed. Okay, right. So must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, a creature takes and has its speed halved for the duration. A successful save halves the damage and the target suffers no additional effects. The spell also ignores resistance to fire. I'm just going to cut that. That's dumb. A successful save halves the damage and the target speed is unaffected. At the start of your next turn, if the target creature you conjure fiendish shackles at a point within the space in a space occupied by a creature within range that entwine around that. Greetings around that creature's legs. The target must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, creature. The target must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, the creature takes 68 fire damage and has its speed halved for the duration. So halves the damage, the target speed is unaffected. At the start of your next turn, if the target creature right. At the start of your next turn, if the target is within 30 feet of the shackles, it immediately suffers 46 fire damage. Hang on, let me just make sure it was 46 before. Yes, it was. It immediately suffers 46 fire damage and is pulled back into their space as the chains drag them back. The spell then ends. I like the effect of this spell a lot. It captures the flavor of what I'm going for, of like, this is Aatrox, this is E, like pretty much perfectly. And it's kind of that thing of like, even if they succeed the save, right? Even if they succeed, there is a very good chance that they are not going to want to move 30 feet, you know? Like, I think like the overall, like, they're not, you know, and if their speed is halved, then you're doing all manner of things. You're either forcing them to dash to get out if they're trying to escape. You're forcing them to do all manner of things that can be really devastating for them. So I think the damage of this spell is probably a little high, actually. Like, just like if a creature suffers both instances of damage, basically you have like 3 outcomes of this spell, or 4. You have the creature fails its save and is pulled as well. You have a creature they either fail their save and are pulled. So we're looking at 68 plus 46. Named, failed, and pulled. We have 68 named, failed, not pulled. I'm just doing the maths real quick. We're looking at like 40 damage on average for like the which is a lot. Like a lot. Spell damage. Let me look at the spell damage table. 60-10. What does that come up to? 33. Yeah, I think the damage of the spell might actually be way too high. I might drop this down to a D6, and I think that'll probably fix the problem. This is a very high utility spell, though. Okay, there we go. Now this spell is really fair. I think the spell is now very, very reasonable. I like this spell a lot. I think this spell's fucking awesome. It's very good as well. I think is the core reason I like it, is it's a very good spell. Intimidating aspect. Now I remember this spell being very, very boring, but I will have to check. I think it's a first. Yes. Yes, it's very boring. And is also just like straight up just like a bad spell as well. It's really not good. I'll tell you what. Here's a way of making this spell kind of good. I like this idea. Bit of a spicy idea. Is to go in and call it social aspect. Right, just completely change what the spell is about. So I will. Hang on, let me just grab the spell's original effect. I actually have to like put it down here. It lasts an hour. For Bard, Cleric, Sorcerer, and Wizard it's called Social Aspect. It's a touch illusion spell. So I think we can have. So we want an illusory aura that enhances one of their social skills. Choose one of the following auras. And the associated skill check for the duration. Oh shit. So there we go. It's more sort of, it's kind of like an enhanced ability almost, but very specifically for hang on, actually I think the so intimidating aspect, and then amiable aspect takes on a more domineering visage. Like alluring aspect, like, well, I suppose alluring aspect is probably, or just like eye-catching. Far more vibrant, colorful standing. So it stands out more, drawing more attention, gaining advantage on charisma performance checks, but disadvantage on charisma deception checks. Because people's eyes are always on you, so you can't really lie to them quite as easily. Beguiling, hang on, there's beguiling synonym. So I'm not sure beguiling is like what I specifically want. Oh. The target becomes far harder to read and assess, gaining it says you choose. Intimidating creatures may gain a foul scar. Gain a nasty scar. They have dazzling eyes that nobody can look away from. By touching the target creature as an action on your turn. Yeah, this spell is now interesting. It's kind of like an enhanced ability at level 1. So it's not concentration, but it has downside. So instead of enhanced ability being like, oh yeah, you know, I concentrate for an hour and give you advantage on all of your charisma checks, it's like, I need you right the fuck now to be good at something very specific. A spritz of perfume sprayed onto the target, which the spell consumes. A light spritz of perfume sprayed onto. So you do need to own some perfume and just kind of like, you know, spritz a little bit on them. But that makes sense. That's sensible, sort of, kind of, whatever. Who cares? It's cool. I like it. Great success. Investiture of Corrosion. It's a 6th level spell, I believe. No, it must be. All the investiture spells are 6th level. What the fuck am I talking about? Now, I know in my home game I buffed all the investiture spells to not be really, really bad. It's an action, self, verbal, somatic, concentration up to 10 minutes, druid, sorcerer, warlock, wizard. Until the spell ends, poison gases, bubbling acid cover your body. You gain the following benefits. You're immune to poison and acid damage. A creature that moves within 10 feet of you for the first time, or ends its turn there. Takes 1d8 poison damage. You can use your bonus action to send out a spray of acidic liquid from your form. All creatures in there... Oh yeah, no, this is just fine. Yeah, I literally do not even need to touch this. It's completely fine. Iron Angel. This one is weird. This summons like a special creature, which does a bunch of shit, and I don't really want to do that because I think that's kind of dumb. It's like a 7th level spell as well that like summons like a special creature, and I think that's really boring. So I'm gonna do what I did with Hands of Manos, completely rework the spell. So an Iron Angel, what does that mean? Well, what it actually does is it summons like a mechanical angel. Again, it's inspired by the work of John Battle. Very sort of, kind of like a grim and gritty Studio Ghibli kind of style is more or less his setting. Very sort of abstract, abstract, vaguely existential Studio Ghibli, and it is amazing. Highly recommend you go look. I'm gonna go put in, every time I talk about him, I'm gonna say the exact same thing. I'm gonna post Ensville, the Primer to the Cage. Just read it and understand this man's genius. It is perfect. I love it. Like, John Battle, absolute fucking genius. I will plug his shit until I die, or he asked me to stop. Which I think is, you know, if he were to say that, I would probably respect his opinion and not. But, yeah, pretty good. Welcome in. So, just working on some spells at the moment. So, an Iron Angel, my thoughts would be something like a swirling kind of like thing of, like a swirling orb of blades or something like that. I think we can still take the inspiration and have it, you know, not literally be an Iron Angel that you summon, and instead be so. That's a necromancy spell. Nice. We're gonna stick with that. That's fucking awesome, the way that's phrased there. And I'm also gonna keep the opening line of text. Of whirling. It's a 20-foot sphere of whirling rusted metal held together by a sickly glowing light. Okay, here we go. Any creature that enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there with the sounds of screaming iron. All starters turn there must succeed on a Constitution Dexterity Dexterity. So no, the habit's still there. Must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers. It's a 7th level spell. Creature suffers. Let me just check a spell that I have real quick. It's also a 7th level spell. Also 20-foot radius sphere. Neat. Oh. I suppose it could be a 10-foot sphere or a 15-foot radius sphere. Or is it a 15-foot radius sphere? There we go. I forgot. Failing that, creature suffers 6d8 slashing damage and starts bleeding. So we can include bleeding some more, justify its inclusion in the rules, because bleeding is pretty cool. On failure, a creature suffers 68 slashing damage and starts bleeding 3d6. 3d6, that ramps up pretty hard, pretty fast. Is that bad? Not really. I think that's fine. Ugh. Yeah, probably. But, you know, in this particular context, it is cool. Not sure how I feel about this damage. As an action on subsequent turns, you can move the sphere up to 20 feet. This is very simple, and I kind of like it. It's neat. You know, it just kind of... Oh. It's not... Oh, right, no, that's fine. Becomes deafened. Is deafened until it leaves the area and must make a dexterity saving throw. Flavor, because it's like the screaming iron is all around you. So there we go. This is a cool spell. It has some neat effects. I like it. It's very simple, and it just kind of works, as opposed to the original version, which was weird and janky and kind of stupid. And those are all the eye spells. Not sure how long that took us. How long did it take us? About 45 minutes. That's not so bad. Well, probably about 30 about 40 minutes, actually, to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 spells in 40 minutes. That's pretty good. So we can definitely get through all the J spells, of which there are 6, all of which are named spells. There are the 3 Jackdaw spells and the 3 Jodariel spells. The Jackdaw spells are weird and strange. The Jodariel spells are kind of janky, so this could maybe take a while. There is at least one of the Jackdaw spells which is going to need a complete, like, ground-up rework because it's just horrendous. Whereas the Jodariel spells are just going to need a lot of rewording because they're weird and kind of janky. The first one has the dumbest name, and it is Jackdaw's Murderous Murders. So there you go. This is a bit of a tonal guide for you there. Let me just turn the brightness down on this a little bit. It's getting a bit of a whitewash on my face. Jackdaw's Murderous Murders is a 5th level necromancy spell with a casting time of 1 action, a range of 30 feet, verbal somatic material, the hearts of 3 corvids, concentration up to an hour for sorcerers, warlocks, and wizards. Channel the life force of the surrounding area into 3 swarms of terrifying fleshy birds. The swarms have the statistics of a swarm of ravens, with the following alterations. They have an AC of 15, they have 35 hit points, their beak attacks deal 46 damage, reduced to 2d6 damage when the swarm uses half its hit point maximum or fewer. Their beak attack deals an additional 1d6 necrotic damage. You gain hit points equal to half the necrotic damage any swarm deals in this way. Roll initiative for the swarms as a group. They're commanded as a bonus action on your turn, either to do the same task or to do different things each. Whenever a swarm is killed, you regain a 1d6 hit points. I'm going to cut that last bit. But this is a very janky spell. It's kind of cool though. So Jackdaw's Murderous, because you summon Murderous Murders of Crows, is kind of the idea. I don't need this, like, at all. Full stop there. I need to go check the wording of Gias for how this multi-level kind of tiering is. 7th, 6th or 7th level, 8th or 9th level. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Oh, hang on, actually. When the spell ends, each of the swarms drops to 0 hit points and dies. And turn into a pile of amalgamous flesh. Unintelligible flesh. There we go. Very horrid. Very unpleasant. Not very fun. But the spell, it's cool. Jackdaw's Malevolent Vision is I believe a 4th level spell, I want to say. Maybe, no, it's a 6th, maybe? Yes, 6th. Yes, it is. I dislike this spell heavily. I want to change it completely, if possible. I think I know what I want to do. Right. Start of your next turn. There we go. You summon a big eyeball, and then it gives you good sight of them for a round, and then it explodes. And the damage scale's pretty high, so neat. I think that fixes the spell very nicely. That was a lot easier than I expected. Oh. Now for Jackdaw's Never Move, which is a 4th level spell. Basically, there is a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th level Jackdaw spell. Jackdaw is inspired by Swain from League of Legends. Fun fact. Jackdaw's Never Move. 4th level Necromancy, 1 action, range of self-verbal somatic material, 1 round. A clawed bird foot flies from your hand in a line 30 feet long and 5 feet wide. I think we can go in a 30-foot long, 5-foot wide line. Each creature of the claw passes through. Each creature... On a failure, a creature suffers 3d10 necrotic damage and becomes restrained for the duration. Also, so if a creature takes half damage and is not restrained. Restrained until the end of your next turn. I think the damage is actually really pitiful for, like, the spell. Obviously, restraining a bunch of creatures is really good, but, like, a 4th level spell, what does 76 add up to? Like 24, that can be like 5d10 realistically, or probably 4d10 I think is probably the most suitable. Like, yeah, that brings up to 22, and Yeah, I think that's probably the most reasonable kind of metric there. It's just buffing the spell a little bit and changing the wording around. So actually, those Jackdaw spells, fairly simple. Now onto the Jadariel spells. Now, there is the one Jadariel spell that everybody in my home game, or a good number of people in my home game know very, very well, because it is absolutely devastating if you get hit by it. Whereas the other two, I don't think have ever been cast ever. So, I'm about to find out why that is. I'm going to do... There's Jadariel's Condemning Claws, Jadariel's Exiling Impalement, which is the one that the aforementioned one, and Jadariel's Ousting Jaws. Ousting Jaws, I believe, is... yeah, it's the second level spell. Oh, no, Jadariel's Ousting Jaws is actually really kind of good. Huh. I guess because its range is very low is probably why it's not really been picked before. Takes 2d10 piercing damage. Additionally, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. It should be a full stop there, not a comma. On a failed save, it becomes frightened of you. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened of you for 1 minute. A creature frightened of you in this way takes 1d6 psychic damage at the start of each turns, and can repeat saving throw at the end of each turns to end the turns, ending the effect on a success. This damage is pretty pitiful, given that it's single target, and I think that's why this spell hasn't been picked up. Realistically, this should be 3d10. And then... Jesus Christ. Hang on, let me just make sure I was reading that right. Yeah, the official spell damage table for... Oh, no, I understand it, never mind. Ignore me. Don't mind me. So, yeah, no, this spell's alright. The spell is alright. It frightens and does additional damage to frightened creatures. Yeah, the spell's really good. I'd say. Here's a thought, actually. Psychic damage dealt increase by 1d6. So I'm just running some numbers real quick. For a lot of things, there is for balancing homebrew, there are basically two major things to know. Is one, the system that you're homebrewing for. If you don't know it, you don't need to know every single facet of it, but you need to have played at least, at absolute minimum, like, have played and GM'd the system you're homebrewing for enough time to know all the classes, know most of the spells in the game. You don't need to have like an encyclopedic knowledge of the system that you're doing stuff for, but the more you know about the system that you're writing for, the better you will be at just eyeballing it. And there are also a lot of resources. The second one is just cross-referencing. If you're making a second level spell, you do what I'm doing right now and look at what, like, there is a spell damage table in the DMG page 283 that gives you a rough estimate of how much damage a spell of that level should do. A spell of that damage that has no additional effect should do, at least, that seems to be the consensus. So, for example, I'm looking at a single target second level spell which should do approximately 3d10 damage, but because this has only a range of 5 feet, it can probably be higher than that, but it also has an extra effect, so those kind of cancel out, and you have about 3d10 damage-ish. There's a bit of maths, knowing the system and knowing where to look to cross-reference your information. And I suppose another thing is having somebody who knows the system as well as you, if not better, look at your stuff. I think those are the main things there, I think. And I suppose another major thing is that, speaking from enough experience, the first thing you make will undoubtedly be a gigantic pile of shit. Like, you will think it's good, you will think it's great, and then 6 months to a year later, you will look at it again and think, what the fuck was I thinking? And realistically, if you go in knowing that, like, nothing is final, I will have to come back and rebalance this later, this might be shit, like, I might have to come back and just completely scrap half of it and come back in, that's fine. Like, that is something that everybody has had to do. I spend the vast majority of my free time balancing all the homebrew in my home games because there's so much of it, and like, all of this. All of this is just the tip of the iceberg, and I mean that almost literally. There is an enormous amount I have in my home game, and I'm always fiddling with it because it's never done. Yeah. Ugh. Right, I need to do some damage add-ups here. Yeah, more or less that is the sort of interaction, I suppose. I suppose the everyone has had that experience. I think you're lucky in that you went in and assuming that was the first thing you've done, which it may well not have been. But assuming that was the case, you went in and made a subclass at the very least. You didn't do a me and add like 4 classes to the game, all of which were absolute dog piss. Nowadays, the Inquisitor is on my DM's Guild page. The Inquisitor isn't even the first class I ever made either, it's the second. I actually have... they were both... The Shaman and the Inquisitor, the first 2 classes I made, were awful. But after years, and I mean years, they were salvaged, rebuilt from scratch, and now... the Shaman especially, which I still haven't released, and I want to do at some point, are in pretty good spots. They are, they fill a unique space. They still, a lot of their original design remains intact, though it's been heavily changed, and they're both interesting. And even after years of fiddling with them, Inquisitor is on version 3.2, and Shaman is on version is just on version 3, I think. Though version 3 has barely been tested thus far, so who knows, it might be super broken. I know there's at least one thing in Shaman version 3 that is just like actively like game-breakingly powerful, so we'll have to see, because it's like anti-life shell, except smaller, but you can get it at like level 2, so that's gonna need some work. It's the way like game patch notes work. That's just how I structure it. I started doing it last year when I realized I needed to write patch notes for my home game for my players. Like the big number, for instance, is like version 1 of something is this is the original version. Version 1.1 would be I have updated it. And then version 1.2 is I've changed something else. And then if you go to version 2, this is like I have gone in and changed, I've fundamentally changed everything. Like Inquisitor has been completely fundamentally rewritten twice. And from there, that makes it version 3, and it has since had little 2 smaller updates from there, version 3.1, version 3.2. I don't keep like direct perfect track of it, but like for each class or whatever, but it's like approximately in that range. I know for a fact Shaman is version 3, because I haven't really changed anything since I first. It's any amount of alteration that isn't like a total ground up rewrite. So if you go in and like, oh yeah, I scrapped this subclass, it sucked, and here's a new one in its stead. That's substantial, but it's not. That's still, that's me going from version 1 to version 1.1. Or like, oh yeah, this class feature's really broken, so I'm gonna nerf it, but this one's really bad, so I'm gonna buff it. That's another sort of 0.1. But if you're going in and being like, right, this whole mechanic is going out the window, or all of the subclasses are awful, I'm gonna scrap them and completely rewrite them. I'm talking in terms of like a class here, because for like a subclass or whatever, you don't necessarily need to keep as much track of it. But classes, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, it's by no means necessary at all. It's just something I like to do because numbers, and also helps me keep track of things a little bit. That's like completely unnecessary. It's like completely superfluous though, so I wouldn't bother with it. Let's some more numbers. I think 4d6 psychic damage, output 2d10 plus 1d6, alright. Okay, yeah, no, I think this here is probably, and the fact that it scales like crazy is pretty tough. That's it scales 2d, it's a second level spell that scales at 2d6, but they need to fail a save for that to matter, so it's probably fine, he says. That might make the spell amazing, and if the spell is just really good, then that's great. But if it's just bananas, like you have to pick the spell or you're an idiot, then there's a problem. But I think in its current state, it's just very good. It is a 5 foot range, so there is that. There is like a 5 foot range. So that's fairly substantial. I'm gonna skip Exiling Impalement. I'm gonna save that for last. I'm gonna go Ousting. No, I've already done Ousting Jaws. Oh, I just completely skipped 2 of them. Oh, I guess we're doing Condemning Claws next. What a Jodariel's Condemning Claws. It's not a 3rd level spell. Is it a 4th level spell? It is. It's not very interesting. Not very interesting, I have to say. I don't like its effect. It's very boring. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a ground-breaking, world-changing kind of spell, but it at least needs to be interesting, and it kind of isn't. You transform your hands into claws of demonic bone and swipe at your enemies. Make a melee spell attack against a creature within range. On a hit, the claws deal 2d6 slashing damage plus 1d8 necrotic damage. Additionally, the next time the target creature takes damage, it takes an additional 4d8 necrotic damage. I'm going to check the numbers on this spell. This is a single target kind of deal. Again, as well, so this is a 4th level spell. It's a 4th level spell that does... You have to hit them, so it is a spell attack. 2d6 plus 2d8 plus 4d8. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, this is like actively like a non-problem. I could do this maybe, like bump it a little bit because it is like a touch range spell. Yeah, I'd say this is fine. Yeah, this is like actively like just a non-problem. Now though, we move on to Jodariel's Exiling Impalement, which is an absolutely fucking bonkers spell. I'm gonna go find it. Where is it? Oh, I just scrolled past it. There it is. Jesus fucking Christ. I swear to God. Oh, I need to turn that fucking sound down. So thank you for the raid. Oh shit. Thank you very much. Oh fuck, that scared the shit out of me. I desperately need to turn that fucking sound down, I swear. Fuck me. Right, where's the fucking volume on this shit? Thank you very much for the raid, though. Good lord. Okay. All is well. I've turned the sound down now. Oh, wait, no, it's unturned the sound. Yeah. Right. The sound has been turned down. Yes, I say. I do love me some 5e homebrew. Hang on, let me what the fuck is my Raiders command? Jesus Christ. What is it? Okay, right. I do have one. Streamlabs has a habit of just Oh wait, no, that's the wrong fucking one. Fuck me, hang on, no. No, that's not what I want. I want this. Ah, I say I just did the thing as I have played a little bit of Legends of Runeterra, and I very much enjoyed it. Mostly because I like the League universe a lot. I am a big fan of the League universe. It is good stuff. No, that's not right. Okay, right. Where, right, oh, I was getting Jodariel's Exiling Impalement, which is probably the most bonkers spell I have, well, it's probably not the most ridiculous one, but it is, it's pretty out there, that's for sure. Okay. 7th level transmutation. 1 action, range 10 feet, verbal somatic material, the horn of a demon. Instantaneous. You transform your arm into a blade of... oh, thank you very much for the follow. Transform your arm into a blade of a demon horn that lances towards your enemies. Make a melee spell attack against a creature within range. On a hit, the target takes 5d10 force damage. I think it could just be piercing damage. I think force doesn't really make any sense here. Plus 5d10 necrotic damage. And becomes cursed for 24 hours. Creature under the effects of the curse cannot see or be seen by any creature except you. Except you, the caster. The cursed creature is, for the purposes of interaction with other spell effects, invisible to all creatures except you. Seen. Cannot. Okay. Okay. I'll say thanks for stopping by, Livy. Oh, this spell is so much jank because invisibility doesn't make you hidden. Invisibility doesn't make it so that people can't come near you. It just means that they can't. I mean, they could be banished to like a quasi ethereal realm or whatever. I don't know, it doesn't really make any sense. No, fuck it. And is banished to the border ethereal plane for 1 minute. A creature banished in this way cannot be seen, heard. Right, there we go. I think I spelled it. Did I spell it like this? I did, yeah. Or sensed through. Need to read the blink spell. Because this has sort of changed the effect a little bit to be sort of a forcible blink. You know what? Yeah, actually, no. I don't want to do this. I want to keep the invisibility. Because it's stupid. It's weird. Cannot see or be seen. I'm going to do it like this. Trying to get this spell to sort of like make sense is challenging. The spell's weird. Creature under the effects of the curse. A creature under the effect of the curse. Okay, right now that's worded properly. That's fine. The creature cannot see, hear, or sense any creature other than you, the caster. No creature other than you can see, hear, or sense the creature other than you or creatures with true sight. Other than you or creatures with true sight. Sure, I'll happily give those a look in a minute. So I'm just scanning through the last of these J spells, which I think is... Oh, Kindle Life comes next. Kindle Life is some fucking jank. It's weird. Okay, right. Some commas in there. Whenever the cursed creature takes damage, it can make a wisdom saving throw. On a success, the curse ends. Successful remove curse spell also ends. Dealt. I think this kind of fixes the spell. Some shadowy. It's kind of like that. I think its primary implication or application is. Oh, the healer is healing everyone. Well, now the healer can't see anyone, so no healing for the party now. So there's that. But yeah, you can also do a cool shadow duel as well. Banish some shadowy plane. Oh, there's fucking dark as shit out there now. I may as well pull this damn sheet down. There's no fucking point in not now. There we go. There's a sheet. There's a bed sheet. There's we have the highest production value here, or the lowest. I think the only thing I've spent money on is this lamp, because those aren't fancy LED strips. It's a fucking lamp. It's a pretty cool lamp though. Hang on, it's blue, green. Back to turquoise. There we go. There's also still... Oh, fuck, I'm turning the wrong fucking way because it's mirrored. There's a Rowlet back there. I put him over there earlier on. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, got my neck. Christ. Oh, sweet, I just hit 80 followers. Nice. Neat. Seemingly banished to some shadowy realm. That's kind of neat. I have something similar to it, not specifically in that vein, more of a more similar to a Skype network. It's called a basin of communication. So you can you fill the bowl with not like holy water, but like platinum infused water or something, and then you can poke it and it makes a little ring, so that you can basically Skype with somebody else who has a basin of communication. It was kind of an on-the-spot thing that I made in 2014, 2016, 2015, right when I started GMing, and it's just kind of stuck, and I had to properly codify it into rules, because I had to. It's been around for years. I had to do it because it didn't really have rules before. It just kind of was. I think that's fixed Jodile's Exiling Impalement though. But yeah, I think I have banished at least 2 PCs with this spell and made them not have a fun time. Okay, I will take a look at this homebrew now. I may have to go take a break in a few minutes to go and grab food. I will take a look at this. Where is my screen capture? Screen capture, there we go. Trickster's Dagger. This magical dagger is made from a simple wooden hilt of entwined root attached to an intricately crafted glass blade. The blade reflects like a prism. And when viewed at certain angles, reflection says numerous profanities in Sylvan. Nice. I don't think you don't need to specify that it has 4 magical properties. If anything, these don't need to be bullet pointed at all, actually. Okay. Right, hang on. Where's the old, one of these? Oh, shit. You gain +1 to attack and damage rolls made using this magical dagger. When you roll damage, when you roll your sneak attack damage die, you may choose to roll d4s instead of d6s. If you do, the damage dealt is the additional damage dealt by your sneak attack becomes psychic damage, and the target suffers disadvantage on the next attack roll or saving throw. I would skip ability check because you don't want that triggering like just off of like some random check that they make. It would make before the end of your next turn. Additionally, any creature killed using this weapon. Additionally, whenever a creature is killed using its weapon, its corpse becomes invisible for 24 hours, or until resurrected. Yeah, this here, whichever happens first, is not necessary. It would be like the or kind of implies that in and of itself. Should you unattune just on ability checks made to hide the dagger about your person. Should you unattune from the dagger, it vanishes into a demiplane. It vanishes. Into a demiplane until the next dawn. Whilst in this demiplane, the dagger streams a constant onslaught of telepathic insults into your mind. That I think that probably covers it. It's a bit more succinct, and it's like generally speaking, if something has an attack and damage bonus, it will go at the top, because that's the first thing, generally speaking, that people are going to care about. Hang on. I will PM this to you now. I'm not sure whether it'll come in properly at all. Is it going to work? It does not seem to want to. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. It's the like all the sort of gripes I suppose I have with it. It's just wording stuff. The actual effects are all fine. Like they're all very reasonable. The effect you get for slicing your sneak attack down by not an insignificant amount, but not a particularly significant amount either, is fairly reasonable. And the killing a creature with it is kind of cool. Hiding on your person is just a flavor ability, that's fine. Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it a lot. Hang on. Let's see if this... There we go, right. It wouldn't let me send it before, so there we go. I will send each individual paragraph, which probably is the best way to go about this. It's certainly the fastest, anyway. Okay, right. Wait, no, I don't want to do that because I need this for holding things. Where's the old Word document? There we go. So head on back to the dock. Next spell is Kindle Life, which is janky and stupid, and I hate it. And yeah, this is gonna be a colourful fix, I should think, and probably a challenging one of that. I believe this is a 3rd level spell, he says. Oh. What level is it? Is it a 5th? Oh, it's a 5th, huh. I'm not a fan of the wording. I think it's and why is it so high level? Why is this a 5th level spell? Why does it cost 200 gold pieces? Why does it take 12 hours to cast? This is like, it's take like an hour. That's probably a 3rd level spell and would cost like 100 gold. Cleric, Druid, Paladin. Conjure the magic of life, calling it to protect a creature or plant, granting it immunity to a variety of ailments. You can evoke one of the following effects depending on what you target with the spell. One of the following benefits. 30-foot radius area, a radius sphere of inanimate plant matter, of plant matter or a single plant creature you touch gains resistance to fire and lightning damage as well as immunity to both poison and disease for 1 month. A young creature gains immunity to poison and disease as well as advantage on death saving throws. These benefits last for 1 week. The DM is the ultimate medium whether a creature is young or not. A non-adult. There we go. It's like, I don't want this child to die of disease. You know, a little pat on the head, and that's it, I guess. I don't know. Pregnant creature is guaranteed its successful death with minimum and no complications. But the target creature and its spawn it's kind of this is actually not as like stupid as I remember it being. It was dumb because it cost a stupid amount of gold. And I think this area is probably like a 90-foot radius sphere of plant matter. I think now, with the spell being the way that it is, and I think it could probably be like a minute cast time as well. With the spell being... Is it inclusive of Kuatar? Oh, spawn, of course, right. But, I was very confused for a second there. Yeah, I say the, I'm not sure how to feel about this spell. It's... Yeah, I can't, yeah, I prefer that. Progeny. I'm not sure how to feel about this spell. It's kind of jank and weird, but I don't hate it. It's a lot less awful than I remember it being, that's for sure. Corrin's Fist. I remember yoinking the name from somewhere, but I don't actually remember where from. $3d12 damage. As a second level, that's probably a bit much. 3d10 damage, I think, is probably more acceptable. Oh no, just like 2d12, I think is fine. If anything, I probably needed enough. But otherwise, the spell effect is fine. It's not very interesting, but like it's simple. You know, it is what it is. It does what it does. Right, next, the L spells are next. And those are Locust Plague and Looking Glass. Locust Plague I want to say is a 4th. I don't know about that one, but I'm fairly certain it is. Maybe a 5th? It's a, no, it's a 6th. Interesting. Sixth level Conjuration, cast time 1 action, range 30 feet. Levels make a series. A locust cocoon. You conjure a swarming cloud of locusts around a creature you can see within range. Target creature becomes blinded as the locusts harry it relentlessly. At the start of each of its creature turns, a wisdom saving throw right into the locust. Nice, nice. Always good to have escaped the Shadow Realm. Any creature that starts to turn within 5 feet of the target must succeed. I mean... you choose that starts to turn. Why oh god, it's in brackets? Oh god. What was I smoking? Jesus. I mean... it's... This spell can chain and that's not necessary. That's par for the course. Oh, I was smoking something when I wrote this spell, but the actual effect is pretty cool. So it's fine now, I think. Right, and Looking Glass, I believe, is a first level spell. I feel like the spell should probably just be called Peephole, but it's a little on the nose. First level Divination, Ritual, 1 action, Touch, Verbal Somatic, a Chip of Masonry, and a Glass Lens for 1 action. Create a tiny invisible peephole on a surface that you touch. You or any other creature can look through the side that you cut. Through most barriers. Creatures can look through the side you cast the spell on and see through as if the surface was hollow. Creatures on the other side can let's see. The spell's effects are invisible. I think that's probably fine. If it could see invisible objects. Okay, right, this fixes it, I think. So you're like spying on somebody, you just poke a wall and you like peer through. That's the flavor. Is you're using it to spy on your enemies or what have you. It's kind of neat. It's good fun. Now, do I want to move on to the M spells yet? Yeah, I got time. Yeah. I'm just going to go very briefly. Going to use the loo. I'm also going to see whether my food is sorted because I'm very hungry. So I'm gonna go have a look for that. Either way, I'll be back in. I will be back shortly. I will keep you guys posted on how long I'm going to be. I'll either be 5 minutes or about 10 minutes. But yeah, hope folks are enjoying themselves. Do hang on, where's the guild link? There's the guild link. If anyone wants to look at my guild stuff, there's a link in there. Takes you to all my stuff. It's a portfolio basically, with links to things if you want to look at stuff further. Feel free to look at it if you want, or just don't. I'm not gonna know, or be particularly offended either. So you do what you want. Either way, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I can't stick around for too much longer, so I'll go salt food in a bit. But I probably got a good 15 minutes, maybe 20 to go, so I can make a dent in some of these M spells. There's a good number of them. I'm not going to get through all of them, not by any means, because there is quite a lot of them. But I can make a dent. But, right. First one is Martyrdom. And to my memory, I changed Martyrdom recently, and Martyrdom is fine. Let me double check. Yeah, Martyrdom's fine. I can just skip over that one. Oh, the fucking bot posted. Oh, fuck's sake. The next one is Maximilian's Impassable Terrain, which I believe is an 8th level spell. Maximilian's Impassable Terrain is a very long-winded spell. It's very similar to Guards and Wards in the way that it works. I can just go over Magical Zone now. Neat. You twist the very earth to turn it against those that we wish to pass. You change the land of an area, allowing it to protect up to a 10,000 square feet of earth, 200 1-foot squares, or 100 10-foot squares. Any effect that this spell can have must originate from solid ground and must remain within the affected area. Maximilian's Impassable Terrain creates the following effects within the area. Bushes. Oh shit, this is referencing a spell that is just straight up in my homebrew but is not in the product, so yikes. To 5, 10 foot radius shrubs appear in spaces you choose in the area. A creature that you decide upon the casting of the spell. If the word is spoken, the creature teleports into an unoccupied space inside one of the other shrubs they choose in the area. Otherwise, the shrubs grant 3/4 cover. Dust. The whole area is filled with swirling dust and dirt, reducing visibility to 20 feet, with any space beyond that point being heavily obscured. Roots. The entire selected area becomes difficult terrain as roots or vines sit at awkward heights and thicknesses. If a creature spends its turn not moving, it must succeed on a strength saving throw, or be grasped by the roots and become restrained for the duration of the spell. When you cast this spell, you may... Oh. Walls. You encrypt 4 instances of the Wall of Stone spell, placing panels or domes in accordance to the spell. Other spell effects. You can place your choice of one of the following magical effects within the area. Any spell that does not have a duration of instantaneous has its duration increased to that of Maximilian's impassable terrain, and is no longer concentration if it was to begin with. Each spell can be placed where you choose as long as it remains wholly within the area. You may choose up to 4 points in the spell's range. On initiative count, 15 of each round. An earth tremor spell triggers at each chosen point. Place a 15-foot high, 5-foot wide stone pillar that casts the Stone Bolt. It's another spell from here. A Stone Bolt spell on any creature that comes within that enters a space within 60 feet of it for the first time on a turn. Cast the Move Earth spell however you choose in the area. You can move as much Earth with a version as if you spent the full 2-hour duration of the Move Earth spell affecting areas of Earth. You can move as much Earth with this version. You can move as much Earth. You can move Earth as if you spent the full, as if you spent the spell's full 2-hour duration affecting areas of Earth. 2 Stone Shatter spells also in this thing appear at points you choose and trigger automatically if a creature moves within 5 feet of it. 3 Maximilian's Earthen Grass spells appear to grab any creature that moves into its range instantly. Again, I think this works. It's a very complex spell, that's for sure, but it is pretty cool. Maximilian's Stone Shrapnel. I think this is a 6th level spell, I want to say. Yes, it's a 6th level spell. Oh. I selected the wrong one. I selected Mental Prison from Xanathar's Guide to Everything by accident once. I have my own personal index for spells that I use for my home games. Ethan made it for me. It is very, very advanced. It's quite advanced. It's some good shit. 6th level evocation custom 1 action range self shot of volcanic rock. You tear up the earth from beneath your feet, sending it flying in all directions away from you. Each creature within 20 feet of you that you can see must do a dexterity saving throw. I'll take. Oh god, this one does nothing on a success. Fuck. Okay, right. Must. Oh shit. Make a dexterity saving throw. Taking 60-10 piercing damage on a success. On a failure. Or half as much on a success. So, becomes peppered with shrapnel wounds. A creature with these wounds suffers 1d4 slashing damage each time it moves. Or whenever a creature with these wounds moves, it suffers 1d6 slashing damage for every feet it moved. Okay, right. This is, I think, very strong. This does a lot of damage. Probably drop this down to like 5d10. Mellifluous Movement. I remember this one, I remember liking it a lot. It has some neat effects. I think it's a 4th. Mellifluous. Maybe it's a 5th? Maybe? No? Maybe it's a 3rd. Yes, it's a 3rd. So, transmutation, third level transmutation, 1 bonus action, self-verbal somatic material, a vial of water mixed with your own blood, 1 round, druid, sorcerer, wizard, transform into a shifting, amorphous, watery mass that quickly slithers around the battlefield until the end of your next turn. You gain the following benefits. Gain an additional 30 feet of movement, difficult terrain costs no extra movement, you can move through the spaces of other creatures, attacks or junior made against you at disadvantage, and you can move through a space in areas 1 inch without squeezing. I think this is fine. This is a powerful escape tool. This is cool. I like this. We're gonna leave it as is. Moonfire. I may as well get to the end of M. There's like 3... Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get to the end of M and I'll call it quits for the day. That leaves 3 spells remaining, one of which is a cantrip, so that won't take long at all. And if anything, we just won't need to look at it. It's probably going to be fine. Moonfire, I think, is a 7th level spell. He says uncertain. No? Maybe... I know it's probably an 8th, actually. Is it a 9th? Oh, it's a... No, I'm thinking of Starfire as a 7th. Moonfire as a 9th. I don't know what it does, but I know it's a 9th. Right, let's have a look. For clerics, druids, warlocks, and wizards. 9th level evocation, 1 action, 120 feet. An opal worth at least 7,500 gold pieces. Instantaneous. A 120-foot cone of fiery white moonlight flies from your fingers. Each creature caught in the area must succeed on a... must make... a Constitution saving throw, taking 8d12 radiant or with the or a creature with the shape changer tag. Is that how Moonbeam phrases that? Because Moonbeam cares about shape changers, I think. No, an undead creature. An undead. That would be undead and shape changer creatures. Creature that fails, the saving throw takes an additional 1d6 radiant damage at the start of each of its turns for the next minute. I think this damage is pitiful. This can be like 2d10 or something. Maybe not 2d10, like 2d8. Given that the damage is like 8d12 is really not that fucking high, like, at all. Hang on. Yeah, it's... No, actually, no. No, it's higher than your average 9th level spell. I would say, based on this, we could go 7d12 and drop this down to a d6. To 2d6, and then you just have like a really strong 9th level spell. Which is good. This is what 9th level spells should be. They should all be really strong. That's kind of the point. You know, you only get one. That's the whole fucking point. Mordant Pool. Mordant Pool is a cantrip, and I think it's probably going to be fine. I'm going to give it a quick read before I even copy it down, because the assumption is it's almost certainly going to be like a non-problem. Yeah, no, it's fine. Not gonna bother. Mordenkainen's Colliding Cubes is a 4th level spell directly after Mellifluous movement. Fourth level Conjuration costs time 1 action, range 30 feet, velvet material, 2 3-inch cubes made from solid iron, concentration up to a minute. You conjure 2 10-foot diameter 10-foot floating cubes that occupy space within the range. The cubes spin slowly, resonating with a light humming sound. As an action on a turn, or as part of as a part of your action to cast the spell, or as an action on subsequent turns, you can move any number of cubes up to 30 feet in any direction. Should 2 cubes collide, choose an option from the ones below. Crash. A thunderous sound echoes out in a 30-foot radius from each cube. Any creature caught in the air must make a Constitution saving throw or take 44 thunder damage. Must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers 44 thunder damage and is knocked prone. On a success, a creature suffers half damage and is not knocked prone. Ring. The resonating sounds echo off of a 60-foot radius from each cube, bouncing off solid objects. You learn the exact location of any corporeal creature within the radius. Sparks. The cubes cause showers of sparks to rain down in a 10-foot radius from each 10-foot radius cylinder from each colliding cube. Each creature under the sparks must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Must make Constitution saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers 46 fire damage and suffer disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes. It makes before the end of your next turn. Next success, a creature suffers half damage and no further effects. I like this spell. This spell is cool. I like it a lot. I'd forgotten how much I like this spell. I legitimately really like it. So, yeah, those are all the M spells. We made a shit ton of progress today. How many, just count up how many we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 25 spells in like 2 hours. Like just over 2 hours. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's fucking nice right there. That's really good. That's really cool. Like, I've a lot more hope now that this is actually doable on stream, because I want to get through all of it on stream, and there's still a lot more to go. I don't know how much specifically, but so it's 25. So let me just count that. It's 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Just counting them all up real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I mean, let me just add up all the ones I've done thus far and how far in I am, because I haven't really been keeping track at all. "93 spells, we are well over halfway through. %. So yeah, this is doable on stream, especially if I do. I'm going to be streaming this again tomorrow, normal time, 5 p.m., 7 p.m. GMT. I'm going to be doing this again. So if you want to stop by and just kind of vibe, then that's cool. And I'm probably going to do something again on Wednesday. I'm going to do like a big, long stream. I'm going to burn through as many of these fuckers as I can. I'm very much enjoying doing this. I have another sort of big, like, homebrew project I'm going to do after this. I'm going to rebuild Paladin from scratch on stream like I did with Monk, like a few months ago. For those of you who didn't see that and want to go take a look, there are VODs. Whoa, there are VODs. There are VODs. If you want to watch them, they exist. I don't like how Twitch just kind of, like, just quietly erases all your shit unless you're a partner. And even if you are a partner, they still do it anyway. So, yeah, I archive all my VODs. Like, all of them. Even though, like, nobody watches them, it's like, I archive them all in case somebody wants to go back and look at something. Because it really pisses me off that Twitch does that. I know why they do it, but I still hate it. Either way, I hope folks have enjoyed themselves. So I've had a fairly pleasant afternoon. I'm going to see if there's anyone to raid. Okay, that's a bug. That's not right. Okay, now I'm more confused. Let me just check something real quick. That's whack as hell. Okay, there is no one to raid. It was showing Fate as being online streaming Legends of Runeterra right now, which he is not doing, I don't think. There's 2 of him streaming it, apparently. You've been cloned. Apparently. Either way, I'm going to sign off now because I need to go eat, and I also need to have a meeting about a future project. Me and AJ need to talk about art stuff and world building stuff. This is a big project that we're going to start working on properly over the course of next month. I got something else coming out next month as well. Like, obviously there's going to be the revamp of, because the Archive of Esoteric Secrets is what I've been working on. This is the first product I released on the guild. If you scroll up a bit in chat, you can get a look at the my card site where you can go take a look at it. I'm revamping that. And then sort of late March, early April, I have another big, like a big project coming out that AJ's been working on the art for. I think she has finished the first piece, or she's done the cover and has finished the first major piece. The most complex interior piece, at least. Either way, I need to get going now because I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten in... Actually, no, I ate like 7 hours ago? Yeah, that's fairly normal. Either way, I'm gonna head off now. Hope to see some of you folks tomorrow. If not, yeah, whatever, like, you guys have lives. Like, you know, do whatever the fuck you want. Either way. See ya.